Hello and good afternoon. I've got 12 o'clock here on the East Coast, Tuesday, May 12th. Reminder for you there. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. Thanks for joining us for Up to Speed Live today. Joined today by two folks who know all about keeping first responders and military and law enforcement officers connected. We'll be joined by Andrés Irlando, who is the head of our public sector and Verizon Connect business units as part of the Verizon Business Group, as well as Mike Mason, who is our chief security officer, both veterans as well. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for your service as we're here in Military Appreciation Month. But they're going to be giving us updates on how we're keeping folks connected, how we're keeping our employees safe, and as well as answering some of your questions. You can always drop those to us at live@verizon.com, and we will answer those for you. So I want to get right to it with Andreas. Andreas, good afternoon. How are you and the team doing?
Hey, Jeremy. Great to be with you. Great to be back on Up to Speed and with all the V-teamers. We're doing great. We remain hard at work, serving those that serve on the front line of this pandemic. Maybe I give you an update here, Jeremy?
Sure, please do.
Great. So, we've talked a lot on this program and our other communications about the work that we're doing as a company on behalf of first responders, teachers, students, doctors, nurses, the military, and many other public sector workers on the front line. We continue that work since the last time I was here. We continue to play a huge role in telework, telemedicine, distance learning, public health and safety. We've never been this busy as we are today in the public sector group. One area, Jeremy, though, I thought I would share with you that we haven't talked a lot about previously is the area of citizen engagement, where we're taking what has previously been face-to-face interactions, events, and transactions, and we're taking them digital. So a really cool example of that I thought I'd offer up for the audience is what we're doing with court systems all around the country, so federal and state court systems. As you can imagine, during the pandemic, Jeremy, it's really challenging to hear cases, to perform different functions, when previously all that had been done face-to-face. It's really hard to serve your constituents. So our technology in Verizon is helping customers, court system customers, help to serve their constituents by enabling virtual hearings and different transactions. I'll give you the example of the state of New Jersey, our home Verizon state, where we've helped move the court system operations virtual, and we've made their operations remote. So we're offering the New Jersey state court systems full suite of solutions and services, enabling things like marriages. I know we've had a couple examples of marriages on Up to Speed. With social distancing, we're enabling adoption still during this time. We're even helping the state Supreme Court hold their hearings online. So lots of great work that we're doing, continuing to do with the public sector. The other hat I wear, as you mentioned, Jeremy, is with Verizon Connect, where we're also enabling essential businesses and services during this pandemic. Think about the entire supply chain infrastructure, how important that is, from trucking to delivery to essential services like plumbers or electricians, laundry service providers for hospitals, all the what we call the white van services. We're there for those customers. In fact, we've stepped up our support through some pretty aggressive promotions to help those customers during the pandemic for things like our field service management solution, to help customers track technicians and workers who are out in the field, help them track their jobs out in the field. We're offering promotions on our dash cam video product to help customers track driver behavior. All of our products and solutions on the Connect side during this pandemic are critical because they help customers save money, be more productive, and keep their workers and their customers safe during this pandemic. One quick example I'll give you, in fact, we did a press release this morning. We've got a customer who has a number of Domino's Pizza franchises in San Diego County, California. He's seen a huge increase in the demand for pizza. I mean, come on, Jeremy, who doesn't want pizza during these times, particularly delivered to your home? And he's using our Connect Reveal platform to know where his drivers are, to operate more efficiently, and to deliver better service to his customers. He's been so successful. He's been able to hire 60 more people since the pandemic started. He's also been able to give away 11,000 slices of pizza to essential workers, including workers and members of the military serving at Camp Pendleton Marine Corps base nearby. So super proud of the work that the Connect team is doing to help this customer continue to deliver for his customers.
That's incredible. And yeah, you could always go for a slice, especially here in the Godwin household. I've never passed an opportunity to do that. Andres, it sounds like you and the team doing incredible things out there to keep folks connected. More with you in a moment and some questions for you as well. I want to switch gears now to Mike Mason, who I said is our Chief Security Officer and tasked with keeping employees safe through this. And Mike, I know you and your team also do a lot of other things. How about a quick update from what you guys are working on?
Well, thanks, Jeremy. Well, first of all, the team is doing great. We've continued to work. We've continued our work almost uninterrupted. We had prepared many of our shops to work remotely, so this hasn't proven to be an obstacle we couldn't get beyond. Some of the things that we're doing that we've been doing as an ongoing project for probably the past 2 years, which is increasing the security apparatus that's in each of our retail outlets. And that has continued through this COVID crisis. During the COVID crisis, we've had about 2/3 of our stores shuttered. Well, in those stores that are operational, we've had security officers deployed in every one of those stores just to make sure that it's the safest environment during this time in our history for both our customers and for our employees. We're also using this time as an opportunity to see what could we be doing better, what could we be doing more effectively. So one of the things we're looking at is our traveler security program. We realize that there's going to be a new normal, and as our employees travel both domestically and as they travel internationally, this situation is so dynamic that the situation on the ground could change in between the time our employees make their travel plans and actually take off. So what we're looking at is we're working now with internal and external partners to develop an app that will push out to our employees based on their planned destination. And if something occurs between the time they scheduled the trip and they actually get on the plane, that information will be pushed out to them. So they won't have to worry about missing something and get to their destination and have their business plans disrupted. One of the things, I just want to switch gears for a second and talk about some of the things that we've been doing for the law enforcement community. Verizon has long been a supporter of the law enforcement community, to include things like the National Law Enforcement Museum. If you go to that museum, and I'd encourage anybody going to Washington, D.C. to visit the museum, you'll see there's a Verizon theater there. I've been there twice in the past 8 months, and it makes me really proud to know that Verizon was supporting the National Law Enforcement Museum when it was a concept, when it wasn't even a hole in the ground. Gabe Esposito, one of my directors, sat on the board of directors for the National Law Enforcement Museum. And then we have the Fallen Officers Fund, where we provide a stipend to the family member of any officer who was killed in the line of duty. Sadly, we've been in that program. We've been supporting that program for over a decade. And in that time, we've had to give out over 1,400 grants. So law enforcement continues to be a very dangerous job, and we continue to support it. Our security assistance team has really upped their game in terms of my Verizon security assistant team responds to all legal process coming from the law enforcement community. Well, we needed to make sure we could still do that in an uninterrupted, timely fashion, even during this crisis. And the team has done an outstanding job in doing that. So we took this as not only dealing with the crisis, but also as an opportunity to improve the services that we provide to the law enforcement community. And one thing we've done during this crisis is we've actually gotten with our law enforcement partners to collaborate, to ask them, how could we do this better? How could we serve you more effectively? And we've had some good outcomes out of that work as well. So we continue to work hard. We continue to focus on providing security for our employees and for providing optimal support to the law enforcement community. With that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Mike. A lot mentioned there, and good to see the work that the team is doing. And one thing you mentioned there was the National Law Enforcement Museum and the Memorial Fund. Andreas, I know we've got some involvement with the Candlelight Vigil coming up tomorrow night. Tell me a little bit more about that, would you please?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeremy. As you know, and as Mike underscored, Verizon's had a decades-long partnership with the law enforcement and public safety community. In fact, in addition to all the great work that Mike mentioned, we're the #1 telecommunications provider to law enforcement. This week is Police Week. And each year, the National Law Enforcement Museum that Mike mentioned holds a candlelight vigil to honor officers killed in the line of duty, those who've made the ultimate sacrifice. This year, that event is presented by Verizon. And so what we're doing is helping to preserve and to enable this sacred and solemn ceremony during the pandemic by enabling the vigil to be online. It's just another example of how we're taking digital, what had previously been a face-to-face event, and in this case, an incredibly important one. Normally, some 30,000 plus people come out onto the National Mall in Washington, D.C. You've got first responders, you've got surviving family members, you have many, many other people who want to pay their respects. And of course, with the pandemic, that's not possible. So what Verizon is doing is we're distributing that event through Build by Yahoo, as well as a number of our social media channels. We're enabling the vigil, in fact, to be watched by a global audience for the first time in the history of this incredibly important event. So I encourage all V-teamers to join. All employees at this point have received an invitation. There'll be remarks from over 50 dignitaries, celebrities, elected officials, CEOs, including our very own Hans and Tammy. It's tomorrow night, May 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's an extraordinary event that you're not going to want to miss. In fact, Jeremy, I think we've got a video that talks more about the event.
Yeah, so I hope everyone can join to watch that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, streamed on buildseries.com, as well as, like Andreas said, a lot of other social channels that we have. Andreas, thanks for sharing that with us. I want to jump into some of these questions now. Want to get back to you though, Andreas. Tell us more about some of the missions that your team supports at this time. You mentioned earlier you've never been this busy, so give us an idea of what the team's working on.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. It all starts with the public sector business unit's mission statement, which is to enable governments to serve effectively their constituents and to achieve their mission. So we're an enabler, and to your point, we've never been more busy than we are now. Over the last 2 months, a number of guests on your show have talked about stories and examples of how Verizon is enabling public sector customers to achieve their missions. The list is extensive here, but I thought I'd give you a sense just of the breadth and the depth, because there's so many stories to tell and not enough time of just the way in which Verizon is making an impact. And I thought I'd share this example, which is, again, another example of how we're taking what was once a face-to-face service and we're making it virtual. This is a great story out of Oklahoma. It's the story of the Cherokee Nation. As you know, Jeremy, the, the, Cherokee Nation. As you know, Jeremy, the, the, Cherokee language is thousands of years old, and there's some, 50 years nation members who only speak Cherokee. And so, of course, they need translators, particularly when they're dealing with important services like healthcare. So in the COVID-19 dynamic, translators can no longer come to the hospital or to the doctor's office to see patients and to serve that very important service. So the Cherokee Nation is using Verizon technologies to serve their members and in the process to preserve their language. Specifically, they're using OneTalk, where patients who need translation services have one number to call from the hospital or from a doctor's office or from home to reach whichever translator is available. So what they've done with OneTalk is they've effectively created a translation hotline. And because OneTalk assigns one number for all devices, including mobile and landline, translators never miss a call, and they're always available for their patients. So you never otherwise hear that phenomenal story of how we are enabling the missions of our customers day in and day out. And there's thousands of these stories during this tragic pandemic.
Yeah, that's another incredible one there that your team is working on. Mike, I want to switch to you now. You think about the job your team does being a physical presence. You mentioned having folks in stores where those are all open. Talk to me about how you made the switch to digital and how your team are meeting needs of law enforcement.
Well, again, we respond to all the process that comes from law enforcement. This has to do with finding missing persons, finding kidnapped people, finding potential suicide victims and things like that. And so the work has to be done on a timely basis. We have exigent circumstances where we don't have time to wait for the administrative paperwork to come in to support those kind of efforts. And just in April alone, we had over 13,000 exigent calls come in, resulting in about 6,800 cases. Law enforcement across the country still relies on the team to provide that kind of assistance really instantaneously. And it makes me really proud. The stuff that Andreas is doing just makes me super proud that we're bringing that Candlelight Vigil to so many people. I have a number of friends on that wall, including one or two who worked for me when I was in the FBI. So it has really, really special meaning to me that we are doing that as a team. It just, once again, makes me proud to work for Verizon.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for all your team and the service that you've had over the years. I know one of your sons is a state trooper now, so the blue line runs deep in your family, so thank you for that. Andreas, how have the response team deployments changed over the course of the pandemic? I know we've seen wildfires, tornadoes. What's the team focused on?
Yeah, so to your point, Jeremy, historically, the VRT team has done extraordinary work, but it's been through regional deployments. Again, to your point, whether it's wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, this pandemic is the first time in the history of the Verizon response team that we have mobilized nationally. We have a national activation of the VRT team, and we've talked about a number of those engagements. There's story after story, but we've now topped 400 VRT engagements since the beginning of the pandemic, and that number grows every day. We continue to help stand up temporary emergency operation centers, temporary hospital facilities, COVID-19 testing centers, quarantine sites, emergency management field workers we continue to serve. The numbers grow, unfortunately, as this pandemic continues to spread. And as you know, Jeremy, the VRT shows up on a moment's notice. Where there's an emergency need to serve a community, the VR team is there. So in terms of the evolution of the VRT team's work during this pandemic, maybe I'd share with you just an example from the Veterans Administration. This is a great example out of the Bay Area where recently there were 2 VA long-term care facilities, so serving elderly veterans. One of the centers had a lapse in its Wi-Fi contract with another provider. Another one had really poor internet speeds and connections, which made it practically impossible for veterans or their care providers to connect to the internet. We all know how important it is to connect to the internet and how many services now you can only get through the essential services of Verizon during this time. So the VRT jumped in right away. They established a Wi-Fi connection in one facility. They beefed up the connection at another. But much more important than the technology and the work that we take for granted was feedback that our team got from one of the medical directors. He shared a story about a veteran who's been in decline now for a while during this pandemic. He's been cut off from his family. He couldn't get online, but because of the work of the VRT, things that we take for granted within Verizon, that veteran has now been able to connect with his family through video, and his overall health and outlook has improved dramatically. Just that simple act of the VRT, our technology has had that impact. It's these kinds of VRT examples that you can't put a price tag on, Jeremy. VRT has always saved lives and property, but now more than ever, in ways that we can see and increasingly ways that we can't see, we're saving and improving lives during this pandemic. And I just couldn't be more proud or inspired by how Verizon, our technology, is supporting the front line and those in the trenches of this tragic pandemic.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. You always say look for the helpers, and happy to say that we're out there helping folks today. Appreciate both of you joining us to share the good news, Andreas. That's certainly good news about the Domino's franchise owner out in California. On Up to Speed today, we will find some local first responders to give some pizzas to. Always in good need to get some pizza in the afternoon out there. So we'll take care of that. But thank you both for joining us. Want to wrap up with a thank you, as I do every day. Chris, if you want to go ahead and take the slide here, you're looking at a picture of Steve Currier, a solutions manager there on the left, and Lovett Purnell, a solutions specialist out of our Tampa store on Dale Mabry. Their security guard had a medical issue a couple weeks ago and passed out and needed first aid and CPR. Steve sprung into action based on training he'd received in the Army and at Verizon, but he needed some help. So solution specialist and former NFL player, now on our team, Lovett Purnell, helped get the guard back to where she needed to be once medical help arrived. Steve actually credits some of the training that he had gone through from the training organization for being able to keep his mind right during all this. But guard is back at work and doing well, thanks to those two folks, and best wishes and recovery to the guard there at the store. You also want to look forward to another event tonight. Build Series is streaming the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month event tonight at 7:30. You can check that out on buildseries.com or via Up to Speed Twitter. And then looking forward to the event after that. Tonight, we will have Pay It Forward Live with all 14 Team Penske drivers doing a live iRacing event there. It's fun to watch. You can see how they will support America's small businesses. Will be fun to watch. Tune into that at 8 p.m. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have a special look into our network and how we're building out the 5G network, how we're keeping folks around the world connected with our global networks, and the fleet, how that keeps running. So we have that coming. So if you have any questions for some of our network leaders, shoot those to us at live@verizon.com, the email address live@verizon.com. Again, appreciate Andreas and Mike joining us today. My daily reminder as well, reach out to folks you haven't heard from in a while. Tell them you love them, give them a hello, and make sure they're doing okay. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. And until next time, you're up to speed.